Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Hey, 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 happy Friday! And I can say that because Jason's not here and no one will give me a look. Don't give me a look up here.
I won't.
Hey, welcome to the Jason Show. You know me, I'm Kendall Mark. Jason is off today. He talked about it. It's Disney's 50th birthday. So he's, of course, in Disney World. And I have a special guest today that so many of you might not know. It's Pierre, the newsroom. Hi, Pierre.
I'm so thrilled to be here. I'm a little upset because I was supposed to get a haircut yesterday.
Yeah,
and then I had it canceled on me, and I thought I was going to be looking all fresh for the Jason Show. He said, what about 12:15 on Friday?
And you were like, perfect.
That doesn't help me. Doesn't help me.
I think you look great.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, so for everyone who doesn't know Pierre, because maybe you don't live in Minneapolis, Pierre works for us here at Fox 9. Tell the folks all about yourself.
Oh, I work in the sports department here at Fox 9. Normally I'm doing a lot of sporting related work around here, and I hear that we're on in Wisconsin. I hear we're on in Seattle, so no pressure whatsoever on me, absolutely.
No pressure,
right.
no pressure.
None. I've never been on in multiple states before. This is a new experience for me. I'm a little nervous. I even told producer Ted, I said, I've been doing TV for 13 years now. I'm a little nervous this morning. I'm not gonna lie.
We're like sharks, though. We're like piranha, and we just kind of suck you in and then make you hang out with us.
Hopefully you have me back maybe once. That way I know if I did a good job or not.
Well, I think it'll go well. And I have some inside scoop on Pierre, and it has to do with driving. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, we want to talk to our virtual audience. We thought yesterday was our last day, but alas, it is not. We have Jasmine, Corey, and Dylan. Hi, guys.
Welcome, guys.
Hi.
Hi, so good to see you. Jasmine, we'll start with you. Where are you calling in from today?
I'm from Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. We're right here in the Twin Cities. And Corey, how about you?
I am actually out in Malacca, Minnesota today.
Malacca.
How about
Where's
that?
Malacca?
It is north out by Mille Lacs Lake.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Malacca, Mille Lacs Lake. Well, thank you. Nice to see you, Corey. And Dylan, how about you?
I'm in St. Peter.
Okay, wait. I was just in St. Peter. That's the college. Which college is in St. Peter?
Davis.
Thank you, Gustavus. It was like I'm having a brain fart, but and that's what I call them at least. Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. We'll be sending you all those lovely virtual audience mugs. I might give you one, Pierre.
We'll see how I do by the end of the show, whether I'm worthy of walking away
speaking
with
of how you do, I hear you went to the DMV.
I did.
You wanted to get one of those real licenses that we all want to get.
The real ID that you need to get, by 2023 now.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
okay, thank you for that extra information.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. That's my contribution to the show at this point. Yeah, get your real ID.
Okay, and you had a bit of an issue.
So I want to point out that my driver's license is still valid, by the way. Okay, this is the I want everybody to remember this. So it's a 40-question written test for the driver test. I took it a few years ago, and I was supposed to get my ID, but by the time I got to the front of the line, it said our picture machine isn't working, so we can't take a picture of you and give you your driver's license.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'll come back. 3 years later, I decided to go back, and I had to take the test again. It's 40 questions.
Oh.
And by the 21st question, I was already out.
Are you like they kick you out?
Like I said, if this was an actual driving test, I would have veered off to the right and just plowed through every building on my way. That's how bad I failed the test.
He did not even get to parallel park people.
No, and thank God for that. I would have failed it immediately, probably.
Okay, so what was a question? Because I'm going to have to get one of these tests one day, and I would like to know. I feel like the people would like to know what you have to know.
Listen, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, I'll admit, but I thought I could pass a driving test. I see a lot of other people on the road who somehow have driver's licenses, but I think they purposely try to confuse you. I think it was done on purpose. I feel a little taken advantage of.
Let me get this straight. You think that the state wants to confuse you so you don't get your license?
Correct. Maybe we'll have the governor on and talk to him about that. Maybe I think he might.
This is the perfect show for it. Yes, we will get the governor in. We will ask him what he thinks about the Bachelor.
That kind of show. Yeah.
Find out what he wants to do with your license. Hey, speaking of gossip, it's time now for today's hot dish. Roll it, Leo. We're gonna eat. You gotta just kind of sit with it when we're in these chairs. Get it right. All right, it was a standoff the likes of which we haven't seen before. And it looks like Disney blinked first. Over the summer, if you remember this, Scarlett Johansson sued Mickey Mouse after she says they violated her contract by debuting Black Widow in theaters and on Disney Plus simultaneously. She alleged the company sacrificed box office revenue to grow its streaming service. I think she said even fledgling streaming service. Disney claims she had already been paid $20 million. Now, both sides say they have resolved the issue and everything is hunky-dory. We don't exactly know the details, all very hush-hush. The lawsuit could have massive, though, implications across the movie industry as other studios debuted movies on streaming platforms instead of theaters. So we've talked about this a couple times on the show now.
Yeah.
Like we said, the big thing here with this is that this has implications for other movies too, because the rumor was that even other Disney stars, people who were in these movies, were also thinking about, hey, if this goes well, I could also sue the company for this too, because what we don't know, us behind the scenes people who don't make $20 million on a movie,
right,
is that these stars in their contracts make some extra money based on the revenue and how it performs in theaters. That's why they put all this time and effort into promoting it.
Right.
So when it's just going to streaming, not too happy.
I mean, there's a reason for the fine print in a contract, whether you're an actor or a producer or whether you're, you know, the studio. There are reasons for the wording in the contract, and you know, she's owed her money, is she not?
Right, yes.
So I kind of, by the way, Black Widow, great film.
I was gonna say, you saw this.
I did. Great film. And you and I kind of talked about it off camera a little bit. The Marvel movies in general, which I am a fan of, but they're a little overhyped in the sense that, you know, I would say about, how many movies are out there? 26 or
765.
whatever. Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. Oh, I would say only about half of them are good. The other half are kind of whatever. Black Widow, good one though.
A good one.
That's a good one, yeah.
Worth maybe seeing in theaters.
Oh yeah. Wow. Wow. Was it worth every $20 million though that Scarlett did? She did a great job.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is too, what I really didn't like about this when it originally came out was Disney kind of had to eat a little crow, because they kind of were like, there's, you know, they said something about COVID and the pandemic, and sort of related her.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, her going, hey, you didn't pay me how you were supposed to, and then they essentially were saying, you don't care enough, you don't see that there's bigger things at play, and she was like, excuse me.
Are we supposed to say, oh, poor Disney? They're going to the poorhouse at this point? Are they struggling out there at Disney?
Let me tell you, Jason Matheson is there right now, and they are no longer struggling.
No. Empty that bank account down at Disney right now, absolutely. All right, next in the dish, more drama on the set of Dancing with the Stars. You may remember Cheryl Burke had to go into quarantine after she tested positive for COVID. Now we're learning her partner, Peloton instructor Cody, has also tested positive. He says this is his second go-around with the virus, and his symptoms the second time aren't as bad, but it's leaving their future on the show up in the air. On Monday, the pair was allowed to compete using their dress rehearsal, but that likely won't be possible this week if they both are recovering from COVID. I can't imagine they'll be allowed to continue with a positive test. Do you?
Right. And I mean, this just does go to show, like, they're both vaccinated people, but we're in a close vicinity, and so this just happens. The rumor originally was he was going to have a different partner for a little bit.
Okay.
Now the rumor is that if they can compete, like if they feel well enough to, they could do it separately in separate studios. I have no idea how that's going to work. I know they really want him on though, because he brings in a totally different market.
Sure.
Right? Like there's a thought process behind having the like very popular Peloton instructor
Is there a way to do maybe an individual? Maybe this will be something new for the show. They can maybe dance in synchronization, one next to the other, and not have to be close to anybody. I don't know.
Can you imagine? You salsa over here, you salsa over there. We're gonna mash it up.
I've seen stranger things happen. Why not? They want to stay in the show, and they, like you said, he brings a different audience. You want to keep him on the show. This is a way to keep him on the show.
It's true.
Why not?
Cody, we're thinking about you.
Yes.
I would love to see him do well because I love his classes. Hey, girl. All right. Next in the dish, Dave Chappelle's latest special hits Netflix in just a few days. The teaser for The Closer just dropped.
Comedians have a responsibility to speak recklessly. Sometimes the funniest thing to say is mean. Remember, I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm saying it because it's funny. Let's play.
is
like
his
that.
6th special for Netflix and could be the last in the series. It drops October 5th. You a Chappelle fan?
I am a big Chappelle fan. You know, back in the day, a lot of people would tell me now that if you watch Chappelle's show now, from when it was, how long was that show on ago? About 15 years, I think it was.
I feel like the 90s, early 2000s.
I think I was in college when that show was on. Some people say it doesn't hold up now. I disagree. I disagree entirely. It is still hilarious to this day. Dave Chappelle is a comedic genius.
Right.
I will watch anything that he could put on 50 specials on Netflix. I'll watch every single one.
Well, and he always, like he says in that, he's like, it might be mean, it might be offensive, but that's what makes it funny. And like, he is the king of that. Like, he don't care.
I know, and as he should. I mean, comedy is supposed to be edgy at times. You don't have to, go out of your way to make people feel bad, but that's part of comedy. And Dave Chappelle, like you said, like she said, the king of comedy.
He don't care at all.
He don't care.
We care. We care about you.
We do.
Want you to stick around.
So true.
We got lots more to come right after this on this very special edition of the show, the Mark and the Noosh. Today on the show, we're talking all the things Jason loves. First up, there's so much drama on Bachelor in Paradise. We'll talk about where things stand as we near the finale. Then, the stars from the traveling Broadway production of Frozen will join us, and one of the leads is a local woman from Egan. And then, girl, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I hit up a new winery that specializes in sparkling wine and hard cider. It's the Kendall and Pierre show with some producer Ted sprinkled in the middle. We'll be right back.
The last time I did a play on Broadway, it was Albee's A Delicate Balance with my friend Glenn Close. And if you know, toward the end of the Act 1 of A Delicate Balance, neighbors arrive with their luggage to visit. And my character, Tobias, is to rush off stage and collect their luggage and come back on. And about 60 seconds later, the act comes to an end. And the first time we did the performance, I rushed off stage to get to the luggage, forgot I was supposed to come back on, and walked, the 3 flights up to my dressing room and sat down and relaxed.
Intermission for you.
I relaxed for the intermission. And after about 3 minutes, which downstairs must have felt like 3 years, the stage manager burst into my dressing room with a white face and said, John, you're on. And I said, no, it's intermission. I have a good, and just went hurling myself down 3 flights of stairs. And as I approached my entrance backstage, I could hear the great Glenn Close vamping in front of the audience, making up Edward Albee dialogue. And she said the sentence, they can't have had that much luggage.
I mean, maybe not that exact scenario, but how many times have you done that where you just forget something and then you go, oh my God.
There have been times when I've been in a certain television studio where I look at the clock and suddenly oh my God, I gotta run downstairs.
Hi, it was never here at Fox 9.
No, never. That's never happened, ever.
That's where Jason is right now. He actually just forgot he had to come on the show. John Lithgow on with Colbert last night. He's got a new book. It's called A Confederacy of Dumpties.
Great title.
Portraits of American Scoundrels in Verse.
Yeah, on Fridays we get a special serving of hot dish all the way from Hollywood. Please give it up for Jacob Wasserman from TMZ. Good morning, Jacob.
Good morning.
Man, oh man. Well, first up, we know now who will be doing the Super Bowl halftime show, and it's a pretty big lineup. I mean, we've seen Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem. This is a pretty big lineup. But before we talk about them, I just want to make sure, have Eminem and Snoop Dogg cleared the beef?
Been very concerned.
Have we cleared the beef with those two?
I think they'll be fine if they're performing together. You got to have a cohesive group if you're going to do the Super Bowl halftime show. And just in addition to the names that you said, I don't know if you said all of them, it's Mary J. Blige, Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Kendrick Lamar. And obviously, it's a huge deal for us across the country because everyone's going to be loving this lineup, but especially for us here in Los Angeles. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, these are all LA natives, and the Super Bowl is going to be happening this year at SoFi Stadium, which is just down the street from TMZ. It's the beautiful new stadium where the LA Rams play. When we found out that this was going to be the lineup yesterday, we were all buzzing. I was already looking on StubHub for Super Bowl tickets. I don't think I have the means right now to buy one, but it's going to be an incredible show. And 100 million people watched the Super Bowl halftime show last year, so it's going to be a huge audience as always, and I'm really looking forward to it. Can't wait till February.
Well, I'm glad they could squash that beef. Pierre was very nervous about this.
Yes, I was
concerned. Hey, a lot of people have been thinking about Britney. Speaking of concerned, she's free, which is great. She's also posting some nudie pics, and she and the fiance have some plans. What's going on?
Well, Britney is feeling free. I will tell you that much. So, you know, Wednesday was a huge day for her. Jamie Spears is no longer her conservator, and that's, you know, monumental for her. And what better way to celebrate, I guess, than to post 10 nude photos on Instagram. I haven't done it myself, but at the same time, I'm not Britney Spears. And she threw them up. And, you know, Britney has been communicating with her fans on Instagram. That's really her main channel of communication now for years. So I'm not surprised that that's the first place she turned to let people know how she's doing. These photos look like that they were taking place on some tropical beach. She spends a lot of time in Hawaii. It could be there, could be in LA. But overall, she seems very happy. And then we learned something else. Her and her fiance, Sam Asghari, are already planning to move in with each other, get a house once the conservatorship is put to bed. And that's really good news for her. Obviously, these guys are in love, and they will definitely have some money to play with. Britney as a $60 million fortune. So hopefully they can get themselves something nice here in Los Angeles.
Well, and we certainly hope that she's happy. She's been through a lot, so yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we certainly hope that she's happy. And Jacob, finally, Atlanta housewife Nene Leakes put her house on the market, and it is quite impressive, isn't it?
It's an amazing house, and you can see it here. I mean, this is, I don't even know what type of house you call this. I call it just an awesome house. And it just got put on the market right now for $4 million.
Wow.
Which she should pocket a good amount of money here, because back in 2015, she bought it for $2 million. So definitely good to be Nene Leakes. And as you can see here, I think it has 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms. The place is just huge. And I mean, I love that pool outside too. Definitely could have some good barbecues out there. And it's just a great place. You know, a lot of people are leaving the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Nene was on last season, not as a cast member, but just as like someone who would constantly go on the show and be featured. And it looks like now buying a house in Atlanta, or at least staying in Atlanta, she might be there for the long term.
Could always Airbnb that house too. Fetch a nice price, I would think.
Hey.
Right? Yeah. Jacob from TMZ, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Thank you so much, Jacob.
Oh, thanks.
Can we get back to Britney for a moment?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so when you're celebrating freedom,
Yeah.
how free are you on your social media pages? Like, does freedom mean letting it all out to you?
Well, I mean, of course, you have to remember there are certain standards that you have to abide by in terms of Instagram. I've seen a lot of people try to get away with stuff and say, oh, no, you can't post that on Instagram. But I wouldn't know anything about that, of course, you know. But
you wouldn't know.
No, I would know nothing about that. But like Jacob said, she's Britney freaking Spears.
She
you know?
is.
I mean, she kind of gets a what is it, carte blanche, as they say.
Yeah.
But maybe Instagram says not even Britney can go that far.
I did watch her Britney versus Spears, that new documentary.
Yep.
It's good. Love you, Brit. Just like maybe just cover up a little bit, but you do you, girl, whatever.
Yeah.
Next to the dish, Netflix released the trailer for the 2nd season of Sexy Beast. Remember the show? Think elaborate costumes, blind dates.
This can be the beginning of an epic love story. Or it could be a disaster.
Well, I'll be honest. Either works for us. Welcome to the weirdest blind date ever.
Can I feel your like hairy bit?
And what are you looking for in that life partner?
The mermaid is my spirit animal. And a lot of people think that they're fake. I think they're very real.
You think they're real?
Yeah.
I don't know if mermaids are real. I'm not a historian or scientist.
I am definitely looking for a girl that's like my mom, but doesn't look like my mom, so if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, that'd be weird.
I mean, that would be weird, buddy. Okay, the new season drops next week. And so actually our producer, Ted, has watched this show and reviewed it.
What?
His take was they could get some like non-pretty people in it because they take off these masks and it's like, oh, nope, they're all beautiful anyway. Had you heard of this show, Pierre?
I have not heard of it until you mentioned it to me about 2 hours ago. And I watched the trailer, and what did I say to you? I think I yelled across the newsroom, Kendall, what the heck is this?
What is this?
What is this? I've never heard of the
in?
show.
You'll be tuning in though, right?
I will be now, because now this is just like a freak factor thing for me that I have to like see. This is just insane. I've never heard of such a concept, creative concept, but at the same time, I'm like, what's happening here?
It's just a no-no.
What's happening here? Weird.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
No-no.
Would you go on the show?
No-no. No-no.
But would you want, let me ask you this. If you're on the show, because everybody, as you can see, everybody has a different like animal-like thing that they're putting on, which one would be yours?
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I would be a sunflower.
Yeah? That's what you would go with?
I don't know. It's bright and shining and only makes an appearance once a year. So let's go.
I thought the tiger, makeup and
Tiger
costume was
King?
pretty.
Pierre wants to be Tiger King, everyone.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
This is the end of my career. It's the end, ladies and gentlemen. It's the end. Next in the dish, Bachelor in Paradise is nearing an end, and apparently things got very dramatic this week. Kendall, we're all dying to know what happened. Please tell us.
Okay. Things are indeed very, very dramatic on The Bachelor in Paradise. We've got a 4-box here for everyone to see. Okay, also Jason's not here, so Ted and I are allowed to talk about this. That's the other part of this. You see your 4 different couples. These are the major players, in my opinion. In your top left, we have Riley and Marissa. They've been very strong since day one. I would call them my strongest couple. However, the promo for the final show has kind of shown her crying. Maybe it's not going to work, because how this works, Pierre, is they meet on Bachelor in Paradise, and once the finale happens, you basically either get engaged or you're just like, all right, well, that was a fun summer, see you later. Okay? It's really coming down to the wire. Now, in the other top corner, the one that was just laying there, Serena P with her curly hair and half naked grocery store Joe. Okay, grocery store Joe, he was once already dating one of the girls from a different season on Bachelor in Paradise.
Gotcha.
Also named Kendall. She came back this season. He was like, hey, I thought we were over. We're done. I've got this new thing with this Serena. They're really strong. They're looking good. They kind of show that maybe he's thinking about proposing. But what happens? Someone else might be showing back up.
Oh
okay,
my.
The last 2 couples that I want to talk about are 2 couples that I think we'll see what happens. One of them, they broke up on Tuesday night's show. It was the couple that we all thought everybody was going to be together forever. Noah and Abigail. Abigail was from Matt James's season. You're so like, I'm going way over your head.
No, I'm learning a lot of things right now.
Okay, so she was from Matt James's season. She is the first, I think she is, there's a different way to put this, but she is mostly deaf. And she is with Noah. People love them together. They just broke up at 1980s prom night.
Oh boy.
He dumped her butt,
Oh,
and she just kind of sat there and was like, what? So we'll see what happens with that. Finally, it's our girl from here, Becca.
Okay.
She is with bad boy from last season, Thomas. Now, he got kicked off because he wanted to be the Bachelor and supposedly the only one on the show to hopefully be the next Bachelor. But she likes him, and they seem to be very flirty. They seem to be good, and their Instagram pages, they both seem to be flirting still.
Okay.
So, that is the skinny.
There you have it. There you have it. The one and only Kendall Mark, everybody. All right. Next week, the finale. Here is the must-see preview.
Nothing makes any sense right now.
It's the most dramatic finale in Bachelor in Paradise history.
Take your relationship to the next level, or are you not?
Paradise is coming to a close.
3 hours of drama.
I'm having this internal battle. I feel like you're too good to be true.
I don't want you to leave here with what if.
Romance.
I love you.
I love you too.
And tears.
It's definitely scary. We're literally dropping like flies.
Who will get engaged?
Thomas! Oh my God. I did not see that coming.
Who will go home broken hearted?
I've been thinking over and over, this is something like we want to continue.
Just when you think you've seen it all.
Oh my God. Is that Kendall?
Think again.
She's absolutely trying to stop this right now.
Don't miss the shocking and emotional season finale next Tuesday night.
Drama, drama, drama.
Did you recognize that?
I sure did. For those wondering, that voice you heard, Lil Jon.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, baby. Hey, we'll be right back. I promise we're done talking about The Bachelor until Ted comes on. Then maybe we'll talk about it again. Welcome back, y'all. Yeah, like Lil Jon. That was a terrible impression.
Just like it.
The theater is back in Minneapolis. The Orpheum Theater is opening its doors for the first time since the pandemic began.
Yeah, for the next 3 weeks, Frozen takes center stage at the iconic theater downtown. And we're joined by two members of the cast. Now, please welcome Caroline Innerbichler, who plays Anna, and Mason Reeves, who plays Kristoff. Guys, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing great. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I mean, my goodness, it must feel so great to get back on stage and perform in front of a live audience again, huh?
Yeah, it's been pretty incredible. And the audiences in Minneapolis were so fun last night. And it feels, the theater, we feel so close to them. It's really great. It's exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
And Caroline, you are home. You're from Egan. You went to the U of M, SCI-UMA. You get to perform right here, being at the Orpheum. What does that feel like? Is this just a dream come true for you?
It honestly is. I remember seeing Beauty and the Beast here when I was like 5 or 6 years old, you know, and so it was kind of like a surreal sort of like full circle moment. I was like, I had this moment during curtain call last night when everyone was standing and clapping and, you know, my whole cast is up there just beaming and so happy with me. I was like, maybe there's a kid out there watching the show tonight who's gonna remember our show the way I remember seeing Beauty and the Beast, you know? So it was like a really special moment. I love Minneapolis theater, and I also love this cast of people that I had never worked with before. So to get these two different worlds in my life coming together, it's like this really beautiful moment. It's like when you have two friends from different friend groups and they meet and they hang out. It's kind of like I felt
and
like.
they like each other.
Yeah,
and
they like
it goes
each other.
well.
And you're like, yeah, I knew it. So that's what it feels like.
Well, I'm certainly glad that you guys like each other. I know everybody's excited, you know, for the show to get going underway, down, you know, down at the Orpheum. And I know it's like we kind of touched on it a moment ago. I know it's kind of been, you know, we haven't had much theater over the last year and a half or so, but what was it like for you to just finally put a costume on, get in character, and just a feeling of normalcy for you guys, I would imagine. Yeah. Oh, there she goes. There she goes.
You better, absolutely. I mean, it's been crazy. It is a return to, you know, something that has been large part of a lot of our identities as being a performer, and we didn't get to have it for 18 months. And so, you know, for a lot of people, it felt like coming back home finally after being away for so long. And, you know, I have to say personally, after our first show, I don't like to cry in front of people, but I got back to my dressing room and I just started like happy crying, just sobbing. And, you know, it's just kind of, you forget what it feels like to do it. And I think a lot of people can relate over COVID. There's been a lot of things that we haven't been able to do. And when you experience it again, those feelings are just, it's overwhelming. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, theater's
theater's
such a communal experience, you know, and this is, you know, like the most communal type of entertainment that you can have other than like going to see a concert. Live performances are all about community. It's not just what you're seeing and taking in, it's about the people you're watching it with. And I can just feel that energy too from the audience of it feels good to be together again.
Yeah, and you can all, everyone takes a breath at the same time.
Yes,
it's just like, and I feel like people aren't used to that anymore. And so you take a breath and you realize the person next to you like gasped at the same time, you know, and it's just it's so cool to watch people and to be part of bringing that joy to people. It's really exciting.
When you guys tell people you're Anna and Kristoff from Frozen, do they immediately start singing? I mean, honestly, do they just go, let it go, let it go? Or does everybody go, what? I would assume they would just be funny about it, right? Like, it's cool.
It is. I mean, it's such an iconic part of our culture right now. It's sort of like whatever Disney movie comes out, you know, like kids naturally gravitate towards it, but like adults really love this music too. And, you know, like Bobby and Kristen Lopez wrote incredible songs that are not just like musical theater sounding, but they're like pop song. You know, like Let It Go is an incredible song. Like, and no matter how many times you hear it, you're like, yeah, this slaps. This is incredible.
It is a banger. It is in fact a banger.
It is a banger.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, for me, what people do is, you know, not to give any spoilers away, but what happens to me when I tell people I'm Kristoff, they're like, oh, are you the evil one? And I'm always like, no, I'm not. I'm the one with the reindeer. And then they're like, oh, okay, we got it. That's all the explaining that I have to do whenever I tell people about it. But it's really great. And, you know, it is cool because everybody knows the movie so well. And the musical is everything from the movie, but just so much more immersive. And then we have beautiful new songs that just are, you know, you're not going to want to miss them. And this cast is incredible, as Caroline was saying. And every song is going to rip your heart out, one of the new ones. Oh, not every song. Sorry, that's a lot. Don't cry. You're not going to cry the whole show, but you will cry eventually.
It might be happy tears.
And yeah,
We'll get you.
We'll get you.
Yeah, I saw that. A dozen new songs, 300 handmade costumes. We're just so excited the theater's back open. Caroline Mason, thank you so much for joining us. And Caroline, welcome home. We're all really proud of you here in Minnesota.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much
Thanks
for having us.
Thank you. Frozen is playing at the Orpheum through October 20th. For more information, go to hennepintheatertrust.org. And just a heads up, you can find all this out on the website, but they are asking that all guests wear masks and anyone over 12 does have to be vaccinated. So again, when you get your tickets, you'll find all that information out, but something to know. We'll be right back. Let it go, let it go.
I won't sing. No. Welcome back, everybody. Jason is on vacation. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Pierre Nugent, and of course, you all know Kendall Mark. She needs no introduction.
Hey.
Hey. There is a winery in Jordan that specializes in sparkling wine and hard cider, and they're celebrating a big anniversary.
Moose Winery gets its grapes from Minnesota and Washington State, and I recently visited to see what it's all about. We're in a really cool old building, which is the exact reason why Moose is here. Did I say it right, Josie?
Yes, Moose Sparkling Wine Company.
Moose Sparkling Wine Company. And I saw on your wall, there's a reason that it's called Moose. I had no idea that that's actually a thing with bubbles.
Kind of like the head on a beer, but in champagne and sparkling wines, we call it the mousse. It's the foam that floats on the, I know.
The sparkling aspect of this is what attracted me specifically to your winery too, because I was like, a lot of places do wine or they do cider and wine, but you sparkling all the way. What makes it different? Is it the grape? Is it the process?
We use similar grapes to other wineries in the area, so Minnesota hardy grapes, but we do some different techniques and different processes to make it sparkling. So there's a few different ways of making a wine sparkling, and you need special equipment and specialized knowledge, which not everybody does.
Conveniently, I really, really, really like to drink wine on any day that ends in Y. Oh my gosh, it does. It's Thursday, Y. Let's go. Okay, so old buildings have these, like, right? They're like, they were a reason, right?
Well, we actually put the hole in the floor.
For people like me?
In order to...
For children?
Well, since we have 2 stories but no elevator, we need a way to move pallets and equipment and things up and down.
Oh my God, you're stepping on it.
You gonna walk? Gonna walk across.
What the hell is this, Fear Factor? I thought I was drinking sparkling wine today. Anything but wine. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay, we made it.
Today we are bottling a wine called Pet Nat, or Pétillant Naturel. It's a French term for naturally sparkling wine. You don't see it every day. It's an ancient, rustic way of making a wine sparkling. So this wine is still fermenting, and instead of letting it ferment all the way and filtering it and finishing it, we are just bottling it right off the tap. And so the fermentation actually hasn't finished yet. So it still has a little bit of sugar and yeast, and you see it's cloudy, so there's still a lot of yeast and everything in there. So in the end, it'll be a bubbly wine that's still kind of got that fresh, fruity note of the juice, but now it's a sparkling wine that you can enjoy. Still has a little bit of sugar in it.
I stopped listening when she handed me the glass. ever seen somebody saber a champagne bottle? It involves this thing. How does one saber a bottle of champagne?
Yeah, it just has to be sparkling. It has to have carbonation in it.
Okay.
So every bottle has a seam which runs along the side of the bottle.
Okay.
But sparkling wine bottles are unique too because they actually have a seam along the lip. If you can find where those two seams meet, that's the weakest point of the bottle. What you want to do is run the saber along, and you basically want to hit that bottom edge of that lip, and the pressure in the bottle and the weakness of that point will make
Drive it.
Drive it. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
1, 2.
Woo! You did it! You did it on the first try!
And that, people, is how you saber a bottle. And this, people,
I gotta admit, I don't want to get anywhere near you when you're holding a knife.
Okay, pardon. Did you see me? I was good.
Yeah, you were.
should be afraid of me with a knife.
Oh, and I am.
How you saber is how you savor, everybody.
You look like you had a lot of fun out there, though.
I did. No, and it was really, really good. They were so sweet. I'm not kidding. I accidentally forgot the bottle that I was going to bring to show
Shame.
everyone and to share with you, and I forgot it on
Shame.
my kitchen counter. But I will probably open it in like an hour.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You can come over, Pierre.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, no, I'd love to have a set. They look delicious out there.
It is really good.
I gotta take my own trip out there for sure. I have been to Jordan before. Great town.
And they do ship, by the way, if you are watching not in the Twin Cities. Like I said, all their grapes are from around here, and then some from Washington, which I thought was really interesting for all of our new friends. For more information, go to Moose Winery right there.com. We'll be right back, everybody.
Did town ball in Jordan. Great time.
I honestly forgot it.
Welcome back to the Jason Show, everybody. You may remember back before the pandemic, there was a new streaming service that was going to change the way we consume TV. It was called Quibi, short for Quick Bites, and it turned out to be, well, an epic failure.
Whoopsies! But all is not lost because the Quibi library is available for free. Our resident TV enthusiast watched a few shows and has some thoughts, and that means, once again, it's time for America Loves Ted. Joining us now, our producer with the mostest, Ted Johnson, from the control room. Good morning, Ted.
Good morning. Pierre, hello.
Hello. Good to be with you this morning, Ted.
Good to have you.
Hey, Ted, how's that hot tub treating you, by the way? There's a hot tub in the control room. Did you know that, Pierre?
Yeah, Lori Fisher tells me about it from time to time, yeah.
Oh, it's very nice. Leo left it a little cold today, so.
Oh, boy.
So it's a solid like 89 instead of 103. Okay,
You
so
poor thing.
we led into this. Quibi, goodbye, good day, adios, see you later. But all the shows ended up somewhere. Where'd they go?
They went to the Roku channel, which I didn't know that was a thing. So Roku, if you got a Roku, and before you like click on anything to go to like an actual streaming service that you pay for, you can like click on the Roku channel and there are things to watch.
Oh.
Right. So we've got like $1 billion worth of content that you can watch for free.
That sounds like good business.
Tyler likes that.
Yes.
And so you would think that this $1 billion worth of content is like just so good. And yeah, okay, we'll get into that. But okay, so each episode less than 10 minutes. And let's start it off with the most dangerous game. You guys remember that story, that short story from back in the day where the humans hunt humans?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
The humans hunt humans.
Yeah, it's like, survival of the fittest.
Right.
All I know is it says here that it's starring Liam Hemsworth, and I'm interested.
Yeah, so this show, humans hunting humans, he's down on his luck, he needs to provide for his family. Here's a clip.
I make possible man's innate desire to be challenged in a highly intense sport, hunting.
You'd want them to hunt me? Like paintball? Like tag or something?
The sport in its purest form. A hunt to kill.
It's a 24-hour game.
Deposits increase every hour you survive, for a grand total of
$24.5 million.
Wow,
Ooh.
creepy.
It's intense. I will say this. I find myself at the end of each 10-minute episode being like, I gotta see more.
Really? And it's not just because Liam Hemsworth like makes you go, hello.
Yeah, no, not really.
No.
Wait, Ted, there is another show that I'm very interested in talking about. You mentioned Singled Out is back, because this was a show from 20 years ago with Jenny McCarthy. I think it was a big part of launching her career. There's another form of Singled Out? Is that right?
Yeah, and Singled Out was a big part of my life.
Yeah.
Because Jenny McCarthy, so hot, and just picking singles and kind of going through the list. Yes, it's back in Quibi form, 10 minutes or less. Keke Palmer is the host, and the tweak this go round is so they bring 30 people in, and somehow they're all connected.
Oh.
So they're getting rid of people that they have met, they have crossed paths with.
Interesting.
It's okay. The show's okay. It moves quickly enough that you're like, okay, it's not that big of an investment, but I kind of want to see who ends up with this person.
Is the nostalgia better than the remake? Is that what I'm hearing? That because I kind of getting that impression from you.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want Jenny McCarthy back.
Yeah.
That's really all he wants.
Yeah. I mean, that was the show. That was the show back in the day. It was Jenny McCarthy and Singled Out. I don't remember what there were two different.
Chris Hardwick.
Chris, yeah. Wasn't there another one too?
Carmen Electra came along later.
That's right.
Mamita.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was like one of the first dating shows.
Okay.
100%.
Ted, we got to go, but I want to get a thumbs up, thumbs down for both The Most Dangerous Game, and you kind of said Singled Out as a thumb medium.
Yeah.
Thumbs medium for Singled Out, but thumbs up for Most Dangerous.
Okay.
All right, you heard it here.
Good
Ted,
endorsement.
thanks for joining us in the control room. Enjoy the hot tub.
Thanks, Ted.
The Roku channel is available for free on your smart TV or Roku device.
We'll be right back, everybody. Stay with us. Yeah, Singled Out. That was the show back in the day.
Welcome back to the Jason Show with the Nuge and Kendall. Hey, you can stay connected with the show on social media. Check us out, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just search the Jason Show TV or our personal accounts, Jason Matheson. You get to see all of his Disney adventures. I am Kendall.Mark on the IG, and the Nuge.
You can find me at the _Nuge on IG.
And Twitter.
Oh, Twitter is the Nuge Fox 9.
Very important distinction. Hey, we're going to close the show, say goodbye to our virtual audience, and goodbye to all of you in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Kendall, Pierre, holding it down on this Friday. Hey, we want to say goodbye to our virtual audience, guys. I know we didn't get to hang out very much, but we so appreciate both of you coming on the show today. Corey and Dylan, thank you so much. We'll send you your beautiful mugs as you are the last of our virtual audience. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. All right, Pierre.
Yes.
Before we go.
Yes.
So there's a game on Sunday, and we know that Jason is a big sports ball fan.
So I hear.
So tell me.
Well, the Minnesota Vikings are back at home after a big win over the Seahawks, and Minnesota is going to be hosting the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, looking to even their record at 2-2 with the win. If you're into that sort of thing, Minnesota is a 2-point underdog at home. So.
Did you hear how his inflection changed from like chatty Pierre to like sports Pierre?
Now I got to put my news anchor voice on. We're talking about sports. Minnesota Vikings, big deal on Sunday at US Bank Stadium. Stay tuned on Sunday for Vikings pregame live and postgame tonight with myself and Jim Rich. How about that? We've lost the entire audience. I'm sorry.
No, we didn't. I loved every second of that. That was great.
Sports ball.
You can catch Pierre. Honestly, you're on weekends a lot. People get to see you there if they want to tune in here in the Twin Cities.
Tomorrow, beyond tomorrow night, we're going to talk more Vikings. On Sunday, we're going to talk a lot more Vikings football. And for those of you in Seattle who are not happy with the Vikings, sorry about that game last week. I had nothing to do with it.
It was about time, though. Pierre, thank you for coming on today.
For
Monday on the show, Jason's heading to Serums for some chicken wings, and photographer Eric dresses up like a squirrel.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't
I love
you
that.
sad you're missing that?
I sure am, but I'll be tuning in. You bet you darn booty.
That's our show, guys. Have a good weekend. Thank you. A squirrel.
squirrel.